Right now at 4:30 a.m., breaking news overnight. The thrill is gone. Blues legend B.B. King has died. What he meant to the city of Chicago.
Also breaking, the wreckage of a U.S. Marine chopper that was bringing aid to the people of Nepal is found.
And the Bulls, bummer. The season ends on a bad note. And now the question is, what is the future of Coach Tibbs?
Live from NBC5. This is NBC5 News Today at 4:30.
Dark and early on a Friday morning. TGIF. Thanks for joining us. I'm Stephen Holt.
And I'm Zoraida Samble, and nice to have you with us. Friday, May 15th. Let's begin with Storm Team meteorologist Andy Avalos and your out-the-door forecast. We didn't chat like we normally do ahead of time.
Yes.
Do we have really nice warm temperatures today?
Well, we do have some considerably milder temperatures as we go through the afternoon. And this morning is a little damp and on the cool side. We've had plenty of showers during the late afternoon hours of yesterday and overnight. But most of them are moving out of the area this morning. So as we look at the radar, I have this in motion. You can see the little specks showing up. It just goes to show that the showers are very widely scattered, and you might get a brief downpour for like 3 minutes and they'll be gone. Most areas are dry this morning, but still a few lingering showers for now. And as far as temperatures go, it certainly is not a bad way to start the day as you look at readings that are in the upper 50s to low 60s, a little cooler along the shoreline and up north. The winds this morning are fairly light out of the south. We'll talk about how warm it'll get today and the threat of any more rain. Here's Kai.
All right, Andy, thank you. 4:27 in the morning, and things are looking great for traffic. No major issues out there this weekend. A lot of work down at the Burn Interchange. You've got one ramp closing at 10 o'clock tonight. That's from the inbound Kennedy to the outbound Ike. That detour again starts 10 o'clock, and I will keep you posted on a reroute throughout the morning. Also starting tonight at 8, CTA Brown Line work on the elevated tracks. You'll be rerouted down to the Red Line subway. Metro and Pace looking great right now. Back to you.
Kai, thank you very much. We were very sad to learn this breaking news overnight. Blues legend B.B. King has died.
The 15-time Grammy winner passed away in his sleep in Las Vegas. But many of you know King had strong ties right here in Chicago. NBC5's Susan Carlson joins us live from Lincoln Park with more details. Good morning, Susan.
Well, good morning, Stephen and Zoraida. He had been suffering from diabetes and was actually in poor declining health. In fact, he had to cancel a series of concerts after he got sick following a performance at House of Blues in Chicago last year. And now this morning, the music community in Chicago is mourning the loss of B.B. King.
I need you so.
B.B. King wowed audiences with his unique style for decades and mentored a slew of other big-name musicians. He sold millions of records worldwide and was inducted into both the Blues Hall of Fame and the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. His attorney says he passed away peacefully in his sleep last night at his home in Vegas at the age of 89. B.B. performed often in Chicago, always accompanied by his nearly as famous guitar named Lucille. The owner of Kingston Mines told us this morning that his death leaves a huge hole in the Chicago blues community.
He was a kind man who not only played great blues music and wrote great blues music, but he tried to share it with as many people as he possibly could. He would fit into that rare category of being a blues god.
Among the musicians that B.B. mentored, Eric Clapton, Buddy Guy, Jimi Hendrix, to name just a few. And coming up in our next half hour, I'll have reaction from a local blues musician who actually opened for B.B. King for several performances. That's coming up. Zoraida and Stefan.
He leaves a long and very rich legacy. Thank you so much, Susan. And breaking overnight, charges come down after a 7-month-old girl is hit with a chunk of concrete. Police arrested Jeremy O'Neill on aggravated battery charges. That's his picture. The girl was inside of her family's Englewood home when all of this happened. She was hit in the head and she suffered a fractured skull. The little girl is still being closely monitored as she recovers at home. O'Neill will appear in bond court today.
Breaking news overnight, a rescue team in Nepal has found 3 bodies near the wreckage of a U.S. Marine Huey helicopter. Nepal's defense secretary says the searchers spotted the downed chopper in the mountains northeast of Kathmandu. The helicopter carried 6 U.S. Marines and 2 Nepalese soldiers bringing aid to quake victims last Tuesday.
And now we have the latest on that deadly Amtrak crash in Philadelphia. Federal investigators are now trying to figure out why the train sped up for a full minute before it derailed. They say a camera that was mounted on the front of the train shows the train accelerated from 70 miles per hour to 100 miles per hour right before it left the tracks at a really sharp curve there. 8 people died, including a father who was just found yesterday. 200 more people were hurt, and we've learned the engineer has now agreed to talk to investigators.
So, right, let's move on to some local stories here. The Bulls and their disappointing loss to the Cleveland Cavaliers. That spells the end of the Bulls season. It started off okay at the United Center last night, but then it quickly unraveled from there. The Cavs blew out the Bulls 94-73. NBC5's Peggy Kaczynski now with the speculation that is starting about the team's future.
Good morning, Stefan and Zoraida. It was not the performance Bulls fans were expecting in a closeout game against the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Bulls came out uninspired, lost by 21 points. Their season now over.
This whole year, we had our ups and downs. We tried to battle our way through it. It didn't end the way that we wanted. And when things happen like that, the only thing you could do is learn from your mistakes, learn from the past, and just try to adjust and prepare yourself for the future.
We're disappointed right now. The reality is, there's no more basketball. There's no more practices. There's no more meetings with this group,
I don't know if there will be changes. That's something that management and ownership have to decide. I think every organization goes through it after a season.
And for the 5th time, LeBron James ends the Bulls season. Is it the end, though, for Bulls head coach Tom Thibodeau? We will wait to hear that word as the Bulls have a team meeting this afternoon at noon, the last time this group will be together. From the United Center, Peggy Kaczynski, NBC5 Sports.
Time now is 4:32, and new this morning, new details about the controversial upcoming movie Chirac. The Chicago Sun-Times reports actor John Cusack will star as a Catholic priest. The movie about Chicago violence will start filming in the Englewood neighborhood this summer. Cusack, who is a Chicago native, defends his role in the film.
I love my city of Chicago, all of Chicago, and I would never do anything to hurt it. I'm very proud to be in this film.
The film's director, Spike Lee, also spoke out against the critics yesterday, saying they will be on the wrong side of history. We're going to hear directly from Lee in our 5 o'clock hour.
Decision 2016 on this Friday morning. Urban League president and CEO Andrea Zopp has recently made up her mind, reportedly. She will challenge U.S. Senator Mark Kirk in next year's election, according to an exclusive report by Sun-Times columnist Michael Sneed. Last month, Zopp told our Marianne Ahern that she would make up her mind on a Senate bid by the end of May.
A political career is ending over a racy text messaging scandal. Missouri House Speaker John Deal is resigning from that post and his suburban St. Louis district. The Republican's resignation is expected to become official today. A day earlier, the Kansas City Star revealed suggestive messages allegedly exchanged between him and a college-age intern. Many of his colleagues said that he did the right thing.
New this morning, the debut of the Ventra smartphone app is now being rescheduled for the fall. The update to the pay system for the CTA, Metra, and PACE had been slated for this month or next month. The transit agencies say they are working with a consultant to iron out a number of undisclosed issues. Some limited testing of the app may get underway next month.
4:34, concert tickets for the Taste of Chicago go on sale this morning. Weezer will kick off the festival. That is on July 8th. Erykah Badu plays on July 9th. The music continues into the weekend with the Chieftains. The Irish band performs on Friday. They are followed by Spoon on Saturday. And Maze, featuring Frankie Beverly, will wrap up the 5-day fest on Sunday. Tickets are going to go on sale at 10 a.m. Prices start at $15.
Look at people eating corn on the cob and turkey legs. Looks like fun.
Makes you feel like summer.
Yeah, ready for it. Hey, we got a double M morning for you. Mild and muggy. Andy's mild and muggy forecast next.
And Kai, of course, will show you a look at all of the roads.
And a police department is feeling heat for what an officer did to 2 handcuffed teens. Also,
the minute I got the text and I was panicked.
Her husband texted her that he was taking his life. Who she is blaming for stopping her from making a life-saving phone call. Good morning.
Hi.
Happy Friday. Is everybody excited that it's Friday today?
Made it.
Really long week or just me?
Oh, my
It was
goodness.
a long one.
Yeah.
Was it? Yeah, I'm glad that it's Friday. I'm sure our viewers are as well. So I'm going to just cabbage patch it out to kind of get it out of the system. There we go. All right, I'm feeling better now. Officially Friday now.
I don't know. We need some more because they cut away from that. Can you do more when you get over to your green wall?
I got a fever. The only prescription.
Oh, you guys.
More
I'm
cabbage
telling you.
patch.
Yes, all right. Here we'll look out the weather window. You know, I only have 60 seconds for this segment. I probably shouldn't use 5 seconds of it cabbage patching, but since it is a request, I shall grant that. It's 4:38 on a Friday. We finally made it to the end of the week. As we look down to the south horizon, yeah, it's cloudy out there, a little on the hazy side, and it's wet. We've seen showers during the overnight hours, but as you look at the radar now, hard-pressed to find any widespread rain. Most of the showers we have are very spotty and light, but they'll be around for at least a couple more hours traversing the area. So you may want to tote the umbrella just to be safe, even though I think most of us will stay dry. Temperatures this morning warmer than yesterday at this time. In fact, most of us in the upper 50s to low 60s. Valparaiso was at 58, but by the time we get up north in Waukegan, it's 52, and out west into DeKalb, it's 57, officially 58 at O'Hare. The wind is fairly light this morning. We'll have more of a south to southwest wind as we go through the day, and eventually it'll be light enough that it'll turn onshore, and when that happens, it will turn cooler along the lakefront as we go through the course of the late afternoon and evening hours. So out the door this morning, again, mostly cloudy skies, a few spotty showers. We'll see our clouds break for a mix of sun and clouds as we go through the day. It'll be much warmer as we climb into the mid to upper 70s. A couple of spots have a shot at 80, but it will be turning cooler at the lakefront. We'll look at that weekend forecast. It's even warmer and more humid, and the risk of storms still there. I'll let you know in a few minutes, Kai.
All right, Andy, thank you. Well, right now, let's take a ride in on the Stevenson. Things are pretty nice and light so far as you do head out for your Friday commute. No major problems up from Harlem all the way into the base of the Dan Ryan Rams. Of course, there is a lot of overnight road work. A lot of it is out in the northwest suburbs. Northbound Barrington Road at the Adams down to 1 lane for the next week or so. And let's take a look outside right now and focus in on the tri-state. Right now you have overnight work. 2 northbound lanes, Irving to Balmoral, are closed for bridge work. That should open up at 5:30. Right here at 2E looking good. Zoraida?
All right. Thank you very much, Kai. The time now is 4:39 and new this morning. We have troubling video of a downstate police officer pepper spraying 2 handcuffed teenagers. It is sparking a lot of outrage this morning. Someone anonymously sent the jail surveillance video recorded in January to the local NAACP, also to prosecutors. The Alton, Illinois police chief says no one told him about that incident until March. Prosecutors asked the Illinois State Police to investigate the 18-year veteran, who, by the way, remains on the job. The Indianapolis Motor Speedway is looking more like a Fast and Furious film. Look at that. Wow. Driver Joseph Newgarden hit the wall going into turn 1 yesterday. His car went airborne, flipped, landed upside down. Newgarden says he only bruised his hand there. Driver Helio Castroneves walked away from a similar crash just this week. And former presidential candidate Mitt Romney is stepping into a new ring. Yep. Romney will square off against former heavyweight boxing champ Evander Holyfield for charity tonight. Romney weighed in 47 pounds lighter than Holyfield in Holiday, Utah yesterday. He looks pretty good, don't you think,
He
Steph?
does. He does. And I hear he's a mean right hook, too. So,
we'll see.
Wow. Brave. That's all I got to say. Still to come for us, watch your step. What caused the ground to cave into this giant sinkhole? Also,
well, the Bulls season ends on the lowest of notes. The fighting spirit was missing, and an improbable hero emerges for the Cavaliers. For the Bulls, it's over, and just starting for Dellavedova. Story coming up next in sports.
It is 4:44. New this morning, a Wisconsin woman is feeling burdened with guilt and with grief. Karen Momsen-Evers says her husband texted her that he planned to kill himself last month. She was aboard a Southwest Airlines flight at the time. She says a flight attendant refused to let her call him before takeoff. She says she cried for 2 hours waiting for the flight to land in Milwaukee, and she called 911 when the flight landed. Police delivered the heartbreaking news at her doorstep.
And they got on their knees and put their hats over their heart and gave me the, I regret to inform you, but your husband has died.
Wow.
Southwest Airlines released a statement saying their hearts go out to the family. Flight attendants are trying to notify the captain if there's an emergency. In this situation, no one told the pilots.
All right, 4:45. A giant sinkhole in northern Texas is being blamed on the recent heavy rains. Take a look at this one. It's 40 feet wide. It is a crater in Hood County. It opened up over the weekend. Officials say the hole was caused by ground saturated by rain and a break in a nearby drainage pipe. That's impressive.
Wow.
That's a big hole, Andy.
The Grand Canyon.
Yes, it is. You know, there's some rain in our forecast as well as we go through the next couple of days, but there's going to be far more dry hours than wet. But when you do get wet, you will. Any thunderstorms that traverse the area have the potential to be torrential rainmakers. But for now, cloudy skies and a mild morning and just a few spotty showers traversing the area. Most of us are dry at this hour. And it is warmer this morning than yesterday at this time. Readings in the upper 50s to low 60s in most areas. A little bit cooler up to the north of Waukegan where it's 52. Currently 60 here in the city. But look at the orange shades returning to the map as we go through the day. By lunchtime, we're already pushing into the low to mid 70s. This afternoon, I think we'll peak in the mid to upper 70s in most locations. A spot or two will still hit the 80 mark or 81. Like Kankakee will be a little warmer at 81. But we will develop a weak onshore breeze, so it will be turning cooler along the lakefront as we go through the late afternoon and evening hours. Then we'll trend cooler this evening, but still comfortable. Then overnight tonight, temperatures will be very similar to this morning, mostly in the low to mid 60s inland, but cooler along the shoreline, and that will allow for a little bit of fog to develop there, and it may be dense in some spots. Tomorrow brings another warm day. Look at this. We're well into the upper 70s to low 80s, but once again, we will have a lake breeze developing, so still a little cooler along the lakefront. Then we'll trend cooler into the afternoon hours and the evening as we get a few showers and storms to move into the area. So as we look at Stormcast this morning, you can see just a few spotty showers showing up here. As we go through the day, I think most of the day is going to be dry. Clouds will thin for some sunshine at times. It's going to be mild and moderately humid today. Temperatures again well above average, turning a little cooler to lakefront. Now I think tonight we'll see some showers and a few isolated storms traversing the area with a warm front that'll be pushing through. So tomorrow through the course of the day, more dry hours than wet, but there'll be an occasional shower and passing storm in the area. Any one of those could put down some very heavy rainfall for a few minutes and then it'll be gone. And that'll be the trend as we head into the Saturday night, Sunday time frame as another warm front pushes through. If there's any good news in the forecast, well, it's going to be a very warm and humid day on Sunday. It looks like the threat for severe weather is starting to diminish for now. I'm not going to take it out of the forecast completely, but we're going to watch this closely as it evolves. A number of the parameters we need for strong to severe storms seem to be weakening for now, but we'll see if that changes in the next 24 to 36 hours. But still a threat for a few showers and storms into the second half of Sunday as well. So this morning, mostly cloudy, nothing more than a spotty shower here and there. Most of us stay dry. Clouds mixed with a little sunshine as we go through the day. It'll be warmer and moderately humid. We'll climb into the mid to upper 70s in most locations, although it will turn cooler at the lakefront. Tonight, cloudy, some showers and only an isolated storm moving through the area. It'll be hazy with areas of fog. We'll look ahead to the weekend forecast, and then next week, I'll show you that in a minute, Kai.
All right, Andy, thank you. 4:47 in the morning, and right now looking good overall when it comes to your Friday ride. Let's take a ride in on the Dan Ryan. That looks nice from 63rd all the way up past 35th Street and U.S. Cellular Field. No major issues right there into the Burn Locals and Express. Taking a ride out to O'Hare on I-190. Wanted to let you know that there's actually a lot of daytime work continuing on the O'Hare West Toll Plaza from 294. Various lanes will be closed for electrical work. That's again during the day, so that begins at around 9 after the morning rush hour. Let's go outside right now and check in live with a tollway camera for you. We are going out west. Again, the pavement's still wet from yesterday and last night's rain, but no rain right now along 88, and that's looking great. Anytime you'd like to stay up to date on your latest traffic conditions, we have live conditions on our app. It's a great tool, so check it out, download it. Just search NBC Chicago in the App Store. Stefan Zarita.
Got it, Kai. Thank you very much. A new play is called in the Deflategate scandal. Quarterback Tom Brady's fate is falling into unwanted hands.
And the ugly, ugly end. Here from the Bulls on the latest royal beatdown from that guy, King James, as they call him. New this morning, Patriots quarterback Tom Brady's appeal will go before the NFL commissioner. NFL sources tell CNBC that Commissioner Roger Goodell chose to preside over the Deflategate hearing. Brady is appealing his 4-game suspension for underinflated footballs. The players' union requested a neutral arbitrator. So let's turn to sports with NBC5's Mike Adamle with the rest of your morning sports.
Hard to believe on a night that saw LeBron James score just 15 points, Kyrie Irving hobble off the court in the second quarter, never to return, that the Cavaliers would win last night's Game 6. Well, not only did they win, they dominated. Wild horses couldn't drag Pau Gasol from Game 6. His presence on the court made a difference early on. He scored the first 2 points of the game, working with Jimmy Butler on the pick and roll, and then cruising across the lane for the jump hook. That was the kind of offense that was missing in Games 4 and 5. Bulls, however, went ice cold after that. This series has been defined by its physicality. Just ask Tristan Thompson, who came down hard after a bucket. Cavaliers led by 14 at halftime, and it got worse. LeBron James barely scored, but he applied his share of daggers. Cleveland lost Kyrie Irving in the first half, allowing Matthew Dellavedova to emerge as an unlikely hero. The Bulls just couldn't stop him. He wound up leading the Cavs in scoring with 19 points. Hard to believe this was the way the Bulls ended their season, going down without a fight. Cleveland, an impressive smackdown, 94-73. Cleveland wins the series 4-2 in what probably was Tom Thibodeau's last game as head coach.
Derek, so much was expected of this team this year. How disappointing is it that the season ends this way?
It's disappointing. It's definitely disappointing, but we know that it's over now. And like I said, the only thing we could do now is make sure our families are okay and get back to work.
We're not there yet. You know, we obviously have a lot of work to do. I feel like I definitely have to play better than I did this year. You know, the caliber of players that we had and the expectations that we had. It's very disappointing, but I think it's going to make us stronger and it's going to make us work that much harder.
Meanwhile, yesterday afternoon at Wrigley, Joe Madden won his 800th game as a manager the hard way. Cubs had to erase a 4-0 deficit against the Mets to get it. Game decided in the 7th inning when Dexter Fowler scored on a pass ball, breaking a 5-5 tie. Hector Rondon pitched a scoreless 9th inning to get his 8th save of the year. Cubs complete their first 4-game sweep of the Mets at Wrigley since 1992. And that's a look at sports for this Friday morning.
Oh, that's pretty impressive. It is 4:54 on a Friday, and we start the day with mostly cloudy skies. Nothing more than a few spotty showers traversing the area. Probably 80% of us are dry at the moment. Temperatures in the upper 50s to low 60s. As we go through the morning hours, we'll thin out our clouds for a little bit of partial sunshine. So as we go through the day, it'll turn out to be nice and mild. We'll be in the mid to upper 70s in most locations. Spot or two could touch 80, but it will turn cooler along the lakefront, especially late in the day. As we look ahead to the weekend, tomorrow again, partly sunny, warm and humid day. Upper 70s to low 80s. Again, a little cooler at the lakefront. Just an occasional shower and storm passing through the area. Still have showers and storms in the forecast on Sunday, and the severe risk seems less likely now, but I'm not going to take it out of the forecast. But look ahead to next week, Kai. Unfortunately, a cold front goes through. Then we'll be trending cooler Monday, even cooler Tuesday, but then gradually we'll start to warm up again late next week.
Okay, Andy, thank you. Well, right now it's almost 4:55 in the morning, and your commute for Friday looks great. So I definitely have good news for you. A little bit of lingering overnight road work, Illinois 390, as you head out westbound from Roselle, and a new crash reported at Harrison and Cicero, and another one at Harlem and Cermak. But again, overall looking great. So let's take a look outside and check in with the tollway camera for you on your Friday ride. And looking good at the Lincoln Oasis. No major problems on this portion of 294. Stefan.
All right, Kai, thank you very much. 4:55. Chicago's credit rating takes another hit. More on that in just a moment. Plus, from honor roll to just plain honor roll.
I'm on such a high streak right now. Like, I'm on a roll. Like, I'm on fire. Nobody can cool me off.
Keep on rolling, my friend. An impressive tradition continues at one Chicago high school. Stick around. The NBC5 News Today at 5 a.m. is next.